Evening. All right. So we will do our Q&A today, this evening. I'll share to you our screen. So naka-word lang to, and then I will just zoom it para readable yung mga questions, na. So ayan. So just share it. Nakikita niyo yung tanong? Okay, so wait lang, may mga answers to. Wait. Hindi yan. So yung isa. Questionnaire. Ayan. All right. So these are the questions, no, which were or are based on our lecture last August 15. So naka-share na sa inyo to, guys? Not yet. O, wala pa. Okay. So share ko muna sa inyo. So ayan, no? So number one, so the following are sizing materials that may be added to paper. Which among them gives a blue color when tested with a few drops of iodine solution? So yung choices natin, no? These are the possible sizing materials which are added to paper. So ang discussion ko sa inyo last time is that sizing materials are those components of paper which improves the quality or the texture of the paper. So once yung unknown natin ay nag-positive sa iodine, no, it gave a blue color. The sizing material which is present in paper is we have starch. Okay, so starch. Kasi ang positive result class ng rosin is brown color. So brown color to ether. Tapos ang casein natin is a pink color with millions reagent. And then yellow precipitate for the presence of gelatin. So yun yung mga specific na positive results ng mga sizing materials. Now, the test reagent for gelatin is tannic acid. Ayan. Then number two, so we have in burning tests or ignition test, which fiber does not burn? So alin kaya sa apat yung hindi nasusunog? Because burning test is one way to identify the general group of the fibers. Any answer? Tingnan ko nga yung chat box nyo. Ano sagot? Okay, it's a mineral fiber. Okay, so correct. So it's mineral fiber, no? So ang example kasi ng mineral fiber natin is we have that asbestos, no? So ang asbestos yung hinahalo sa asphalt, no? So the purpose of that, adding adding asbestos to an asphalt, no, is to hindi siya tuluyang ma-burn kasi pag naiinitan, guys, ang asfalto natin lumalambot, no? So para hindi siya tuluyang matunaw, so asbestos is added, which is one example of a mineral fiber. Number one, ang sagot natin is starch. I-highlight natin. Okay, so starch sa number one. Okay, tingnan natin kung ma-highlight. Ayan. Okay. Nako. Ayan. And then number 2, soft copy. You ask from sir. O, tingnan ko kung meron akong may i-forward sa sa review center. Forward ko na lang to. So our answer here is mineral. Okay. Ayan. So naka-highlight ha. Number 3. The following are purposes of hair examination, except. Okay. So A, to determine whether the questioned hair originated from animal or human origin. Okay? So, ito lahat yung mga purpose ng hair examination, pero may isang exception siya dyan. Letter B, to determine whether there was a contact between 2 or more individuals. Letter C, to determine whether an individual caused a contact to an object in question. Okay, letter D, to determine the cause of death of the victim. Ano sagot natin dito? It's letter D. Okay, so letter D is the answer kasi yung sa letter A, so through microscopic examination, we can be able to determine whether hair is of human or animal origin, di ba? Okay. Tapos, yung sa pangalawa, to determine whether there was a contact between 2 or more individuals. So, that happens, class, in crime scenes, no? Especially when there is a struggle between the victim and the suspect. So, there might be some hair strands which are left clinging into the hands, maybe, of the victim, as well as the suspect, or in a crime scene. And then, yun nga, to determine whether an individual caused a contact to an object in question. So, there are also times that some hair strands are found clinging to objects, such as, halimbawa, hammer yan, tapos may naiwan na hair strands doon sa hammer. Okay? So, all the answers, A, B, C, are the purposes of hair examination, except for letter D. Number 4, which of the following is the innermost part of the hair? Alin dyan yung inner? Is it the medulla? Is it the cortex, cuticle, or the root? Inner. Okay, it is the medulla. Yes, it's the medulla. No? So ito yung nasa central, di ba? It's found on the central canal of or it's actually the central canal of hair. So ayan yan. Root is the one which is embedded. So medulla, cortex, cuticle, those are the different parts of the shaft. No? Pero yung medulla yung pinakagitna, no? Which is one way of determining whether hair is from human or animal. So ano yung difference niyan? No? So, ang difference ng animal sa human hair, no, in terms of medulla, medulla is always present in animal hair, but does not in human. It's not always present in human hair. Okay, so dagdagan natin yung mga ano nyo dito ha, yung mga malalaman nyo dito. Number 5, so a black coarsely peppered pattern observed around the gunshot wound. What's the answer? So from the word peppered, parang paminta. So tattoo. Okay, so it's tattooing. Okay? So it's tattooing. So tandaan nyo lang yung word na tattoo. So it's the o kaya paminta. Ang paminta kasi di ba maliliit na tuldok-tuldok ng ganyan. So that's tattooing. Okay, next we have fiber which is made up of protein. Is it vegetable? Animal? Yes, animal. Alright, so marunong na kayo eh. Okay, it's animal fiber. Ayan. Okay, next. Which of the following emits a bluish, may sagot to guys, no? So, the one that emits a bluish fluorescence under the UV light is wool. So as you can see, no, the different choices are cotton, wool, nylon, linen. So among these examples of fibers, only wool belong to animal fibers, no? So galing sa balat ng mga animals yan. So doon sa ating discussion, no, animal fibers emit a bluish fluorescence while vegetable fibers emit yellowish fluorescence. Yung nylon, linen, these are synthetic fibers. Okay, number 8. So the following can be determined in microscopic examination for hair except, okay, the region from which the human hair has been removed. How the hair was removed, whether naturally or forcibly. Whether the hair was cut with a dull or sharp instrument or was burned or crushed. Okay, letter D, the approximate age of the person who owns the hair. Okay, ulit. The following can be determined in microscopic examination for hair. So lahat yan except for one. So alin dito yung hindi natin nakikita, no, under the microscope, or what we cannot determine under the microscope? Okay. So ayan yung choices natin. Ito. Is it A, letter B, letter C, or letter D? Okay, letter D. Ayan. So letter D kasi, no? Approximate age of the person using hair sample can be done, no, not by microscopic examination but through chemical examination. So the solubility test, no, wherein we can be able to determine the approximate age of the person because using potassium hydroxide, no, a child's hair dissolves easily while that of an adult's hair do not. Ayan. Pero ang ginagamit dyan, chemical test, no? So that's one way also of examining hair, pero that is for chemical test. Then the first three, those can be determined using the microscopic examination. Number 9, what is MI? Anong MI? The MI of a hair specimen submitted for analysis is 0.423. So this means that it came from, is it cow, human, horse, or carabao? Common sense yan. Ano sagot? Letter? Okay, letter B. That's for human. Kasi when we compare human from that of animal hair, MI, by the way, is medullary index, no? Medullary index equals diameter of medulla divided by the the diameter of the whole hair. Okay, so computation yan. So that's one way of determining whether hair came from human or animal hair, ang MI. So, MI ng human hair is less than 0.5 and then most animals are more than 0.5. So, ang given natin ay 0.423. So, meaning that is a human hair. I-highlight ko pa. Ilang kayong questions tong nandito? Hindi ko alam eh. Alright. Then we have dito, this is human. Yan. Which of the following is the most conclusive test for fibers? Alin dito? Ang pinaka-conclusive. Because it can readily identify or specify or determine the specific characteristics of each kind of fiber. Okay, anong sagot nyo? It is, yes, it's microscopic, no? Okay, microscopic examination. So, sa microscopic examination kasi, no, we can be able to identify the detailed features of each kind of fiber. Yung burning test, that is to determine the general classification, no, of fiber. So it determines whether it's vegetable, animal, or mineral. Ganon din si fluorescence. So fluorescence, so that is examining the fibers using the UV light. So it will just tell us, ito yung mga animal fibers, ito yung vegetable fibers. Hindi siya pwedeng specific. Same with the chemical. Ang chemical kasi, it will just supplement the results of the other tests. So ang microscopic can tell us the specific characteristics of each fiber. So just like, for example, cotton. So cotton under the microscope, no, is like a ribbon. So it looks like a ribbon which is flat and twisted right and left on its axis. So parang ganyan, umiikot-ikot ng ganyan. Kahit yung literal na bulak ilagay natin sa microscope slide. So ganun ang itsura niya. So it's microscopic test. Okay, next. Number 11. Fiber which when observed, ito nga, nasabi ko na, it's cotton, no? So left or right on its axis is we have cotton. Alright. Yan. So MI ulit tayo. What is the medullary index of a hair specimen if the diameter is 1.2 and the diameter of the medulla is 0.5? So ang sabi ko sa inyo dati is, all you have to do is to divide. So, divide the given diameter of the medulla, which is 0.5, then divide it by 1.2. Ano sagot? Point? What is our answer here? You just divide it. So, 0.5 divided by okay, so 0.5 divided by 1.2, so that will give 0.42. So it's letter A. Okay. All right. The part of the shaft where the pigment granules are found. Nandito yung tinatawag natin na melanin. So it is, okay, cortex, yes, no? So it's cortex, that's the thickest part of the hair where the chemical compound melanin is found, no? So melanin is that chemical compound which is responsible for the color of hair. So it's the thickest portion of the shaft. All right. Then we have next, which of the following is not a characteristic of human hair? Ayan. MI is less than 0.5. Pigment granules are fine. Medulla is always present. Scale pattern overlaps up to 4/5. Okay, which of these belong to the characteristics of animal hair? Kasi human hair lahat yan. Characteristics lahat ng human hair yan except for one. Alin dyan yung exception? It's letter? Nabanggit ko to kanina. Okay, it's letter C, no? So medulla is always present. This characteristic, guys, is for animals, no? Wala kasi halos, no? Or almost all human hair do not contain the medulla. So kalbo yung sa gitna ng hair as observed under the microscope. Okay, number 15. Root, tip, and shaft are the anatomical parts of hair. Which of them is the most distinctive? Is it the shaft? Is it the tip? Is it the root or lahat sila? Okay? It's the shaft. Okay. So shaft ang sagot, guys, no? Because most of the examinations conducted in order to determine the origin of hair is done through the shaft. So doon natin nako-compare yung medulla, no? So comparison is made on the medulla. What else? We have the cortex and then we have the cuticle. Okay, so it's the shaft. Yan. Then number 16, so a piece of physical evidence which is very resistant to decomposition and putrefaction. Is it hair? Is it fingerprint, bone, or blood? Alin dyan yung hindi nabubulok? It's hair, yes. Okay, so lahat yan, mga bigay na questions to eh. Kung ganito lang ba mga tanong sa board exam sana, no? All right. Next, it is the blackening of area around the bullet perforation. Blackening. It's the, all right, smudging. Yan, ready na pala kayo eh. Kung backboard pala kayo, baka ma-perfect nyo na itong forensic chem nyo. So, smudging is the blackening of area around the gunshot wound or around the bullet of the area. All right. Number 18. Gaping hole, singeing, smudging, and tattooing are the characteristic patterns observed on a gunshot wound on the clothing of the victim submitted for distance determination. What is the probable distance of the shooter to the victim? Is it 0 to 2, beyond 36 inches, 2 to 8, or 2 to 36? Anyone? Okay, so that is 0 to 2. So contact shot yan. So kung ang distance natin is from 0 to 2, all those characteristic patterns are being observed, no? So lahat yan. Those are the possible characteristic patterns that we can observe at contact shot. Now, most of that, pag mga suicide cases, ganyan, no? Okay, so beyond 36, walang characteristic patterns yan. Or at tattooing are seldom present. Malinis na yung gunshot wound pag beyond 36. Pag 2 to 8 naman, what we can see are smudging and tattooing. If it is from, supposedly, ito is from pag 2 to 36 or that should be 8 to 36 inches, no? Kasi nakina-classify natin yung, kasi yung 2 to 36, dalawang pang class sub-classification yan. We have 2 to 8, tapos 8 to 36. So magkaiba yung characteristic patterns na makikita natin sa 2 to 8 at 8 to 36. So pag 2 to 8, the characteristic patterns that we can observe are smudging, tattooing. Pag 8 to 36 naman, tattooing na lang. Okay? So doon tayo sa 0 to 2, sobrang maraming or the characteristic patterns are complete. All right, number 19. Which of the following are classifications of explosives according to composition and structure? Yung pinaka-component ng explosive. Is it organic and inorganic? Is it industrial? Is it high explosives or military explosives? According to composition and structure. Okay, so it's the organic and inorganic. All right. Kasi yung industrial tsaka military, those are a classification of explosives according to design. Diba? Tapos yung high explosive, that is with respect to functioning characteristics. Kung gaano kalakas, gaano kahina yung explosive. Ayan. So, other classification of explosive according to or with respect to functioning characteristics. So high, then we have the low explosives or propellants. And then the third is we have the primary explosives or initiators. So yun yung mga classification with respect to functioning characteristics. Tapos yung according to composition and structure, we have organic, inorganic. Then the other one is mixture of oxidizable materials that are not explosive separately. So, ibig sabihin, pagka pinag-iwa-hiwalay natin yung mga components nila, hindi sila sumasabog. Like black powder, firecrackers, and pyrotechnics. So, composition and structure din yan. So, this is, yan. Hindi ko ma-highlight. Okay. 20. It is a kind of explosive that detonates or explodes when heated or subjected to shock, heat, friction, and impact. Is it high, low, primary, or industrial? Anong sagot natin dyan? It is? Yes, it is primary explosives. So, it's initiating our primary explosives. Okay. Now, when a firearm is discharged at a distance of 2 to 8 inches from the body of the victim, what are the characteristic patterns observed? Kasasabi ko kanina. So, it is, ayan, smudging and tattooing. Okay, ito yun. So, ito yung sagot. Okay. The following are some examples of military explosives, except alin dyan ang hindi military explosives? It is the ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrate, by the way, is the cheapest form of explosive. It's actually used as a fertilizer. Okay, so madaling makuha or it's always available kasi pwede lang natin mabili sa mga farm supply yan, no? Yung ammonium nitrate na yan. It's always available and it's also, what do you call this? It's the cheapest. Number 23. The following are factors to be considered in the interpretation of DPA paraffin test, except? Okay, so anong exceptions niyan? Is it time of reaction, number of blue specks, location and character, and then the color reaction? Okay, ang multiple choice kasi is alin dyan yung list ang hindi sagot. Okay, kasi exception yan. Which of these is not a factor which is used in the interpretation of the DPA test? Is it time of reaction? Kasama yan. Okay. Number of blue specks? Okay, kasama yan. Yes, the answer is color reaction kasi nandun na yung blue specks eh. So, nag-redundant na dito sa color reaction. No? So, nandiyan na kasi yung number of blue specks. So, magre-redundant dito sa color reaction kasi yung color reaction is generalized. Malay ba natin kung anong kulay yan? So, that is the exception to the choices. Next, what specimen or evidence is usually submitted in the determination of gunshot range or distance determination? Probable gunshot range to. Is it both hands of the suspect? Is it a firearm? Is it the clothing of the victim? Or lahat ng choices natin? Okay, yes, it's the clothing of the victim. So, ito, no? So this is submitted for probable gunshot range, yung clothing. Yung hands, sa DPA paraffin test yan, no? So this is to determine whether a person fired a gun or not with his bare hands. So yan yung hands. Pag firearm naman, it is when we are going to determine, no, the approximate time of firing of the gun. So barrel, yung mismong firearm is sasabit. Pero kung probable gunshot range, it is the clothing of the victim. So sabi ko sa inyo, how about if the victim is unclothed? Ano isasubmit natin? Ano isasubmit natin dyan? It's the, wala dito. Halimbawa man, hindi nakahubad yung victim natin. Ano ang i-exam niya? I-examine dyan. It's the body of the victim mismo. No? Okay, it's the body of the victim. All right. 25. Which of the following is the correct percent composition of black powder? Alin dyan yung tama? Okay, so letter, yes, it's letter, letter D. Okay, so potassium nitrate is 75, 10% sulfur, and 15% carbon. So that's the composition of gunpowder or black powder, rather. So the alleged shooter must be subjected for the paraffin DPA test within how many hours? Bakit kawawa kayo? Okay. Within how many hours dapat isa-submit yung yung namaril na suspect? It is within wala kayong notes. All right. Okay, 72. Yes, it's 72, no? Kasi guys, pagka hindi kayo binigyan ng hindi kayo binigyan ng notes ng review center? Ha? Sige, mamaya, how will you do that? Bigay ko na lang kay Sir Noli nyo to para may ma-review kayo. Okay lang ba? Wala pa kayong Macboard? After class magbibigay si Sir. Okay? So ito, 72 hours yan. Ayan. So the alleged shooter must be subjected to the DPA paraffin test within 72 hours. Wala sa libro yan. Ayan. So, kasi, no, the residues which are implanted or embedded into the pores of the skin will only last up to 3 days. So, beyond 3 days, pag sinubmit natin yung namaril na tao, after 3 days, magna-negative na yan sa nitrate residues. No? So, dapat isubmit yan within 72 hours. Alright. As a representative hair from the scalp, how many strands are to be collected and submitted? May standard yan. Ilan? So, there should be 12, yes. So, 12 dito. Ha? Sa facial part, like eyebrow, eyelashes, ganyan, hair from the ears, from the nose, no? Tapos bird, mustache, tig-tatlo yan dito sa facial part. Tapos sa lower part, body natin, from axillary armpit, pubic, chest, arms, and then trunk, o kaya sa legs, 6. So ito sa scalp, sa ulo. Yung 6 sa babang part ng katawan natin. Pwede ba ilagay yung mga keywords sa mga ibang choices? Hina-highlight ko, anak. Na-highlight ko yung sagot. Ito, keywords. Mag-keywords ba kayo dito? Ayan. So, ito yung ano natin dyan. 12 for scalp hair. Ngayon ko ang tanong are from the different parts, lower part ng body, halimbawa, hair from the armpit, pubic, ganyan, chest, tig-anim yan. Ito. Pag dito sa banda, hair sa mukha, 3 strands. Alright. 28 is the process of partitioning a sample between the liquid phase, which is the solvent, and the solid phase, which is the paper. So this is in QD, the chemical aspect of document examination. So what examination is that? It is paper. It's paper chromatography. Okay, so this is paper chromatography. Huh? Ayaw na highlight. Yan. All right. A property of paper whereby it does not allow light to pass through. So, pag tinapat natin sa light, yung paper, hindi magpapass through yung light or hindi tumatagos ang light. Which of these property is it? Is it translucency, opacity, gloss, or texture? Okay, it's opacity. Yes, opaque, opa daw. Opa. Alright, so it's opacity. So meaning, paper is opaque. No? It does not allow light to pass through. Pagka it allows light, it's translucent. Ang glossy naman makintab eh. Texture is yung pinaka, kung makinis ba yan o hindi. Ayan. Alright, how about number 30? Which of the following is the main component of paper? Alright, so it's the fiber. Yes, it's the fiber composition. So fiber is the main component, which is made up of mechanical wood pulp plus soda sulfite mixture or the sodium sulfite. So ang discussion ko dyan is that the sodium sulfite is added to the mechanical pulp, yung pinaka-pulp ng wood, no? Binababad yan doon to make the paper stronger or durable. So unloading, this will fill up the pores of the fiber composition. Sizing, quality naman yan. Then a watermark, that's the design. So definitely hindi siya sagot. Number 31, a test to determine the fiber, loading, and sizing composition of paper. Which among them is the answer? Okay, chemical. Oh, ang daming ano. May mga nakakasagot ng tama. Alright, so chemical test or chemical examination. Obscuring of writing by superimposing ink or any marking material. Alin dito? Is it contact, invisible, obliterated, or indented? Alright, so it's obliterated. So, superimposing meaning dinoble natin yung ink, no? So, may ink na, tapos papatungan pa natin ng panibagong ink. We call that as obliterated writing. A reliable test for ballpoint pen ink. Alin sa apat? It's the, yes, paper chromatography. Okay, so this is the most reliable examination conducted in the analysis of ink, especially when we would like to determine whether ballpoint pen ink came from the same or whether two pieces of documents are identical or not. Meaning, kung yung ink writings na ginamit, halimbawa sa dalawang document ay pareho lang na ballpoint pen ink or hindi. So, we can determine that using the paper chromatography. How about number 34? It's the black deposit on the periphery of a gunshot wound. Yung mismong black deposit, is it the carbon color, Tattooing, smudging, or singeing? Yes, it's carbon color. Ang singeing, oh, may sumagot ng singeing. Ang singeing is burning. Okay. Pag sinabing black deposit, so ang keyword niyan, black black deposit. So yung namang smudging, blackening of area, ang ano nyo doon, ang inyong keyword doon. Ito, yung black deposit, nandun mismo sa pinaka-opening, yung pinaka-open wound. Yun yung carbon color, na especially prominent when the gunpowder used is the black powder. Pero laging may carbon color yan, no? Regardless sa gunshot range. Kasi nasusunog yung gunpowder eh. So once na nasunog yan, definitely magbo-black yan. Yun yung carbon color na nandoon sa gunshot wound mismo. 35, is it always possible to determine gunshot range? A, no, especially if the distance is already beyond 36 inches. Yes, when the distance is very far. No, especially if the distance is at contact up to 24 inches. Yes, when the victim is clothed. Which of the following is the best answer? Okay, no ang sagot, no? Because once we can no longer see any characteristic pattern, hindi na natin malalaman yung distance. So, our answer here is letter A. Okay, especially if the distance is already beyond 36 inches. Pero kung ang tanong, is it possible to determine gunshot range? Yes, ang sagot doon, no? Yes, through the characteristic patterns that can be observed around the gunshot wound. Pag wala yung term na always, ang sagot, yes. No, through the characteristic patterns. Pero kung, is it always possible? Hindi. Okay? So, yun yung mga tanong na catching eh. The positive result of the DPA paraffin test. Which of the following? Kasi halos, ano yan? The same lahat yan. Deep blue specks on the dorsal aspect of the hands. Alin yung dorsal? Ito. Deep blue specks found both on the dorsal and palmar aspects of the hands. Deep blue specks on the 5 fingers of the hands. Deep blue conglomeration on the dorsal aspect of the hands. Alin ang tamang sagot dyan? Okay, it's letter A. Alright, so letter A ang sagot. So, kasi para-parehas na deep blue specks yan eh. Of course, the deep blue specks should be found, no, on the dorsal aspects of the hand. Sa likod ng palad, ang ibig sabihin yan. Hindi pa pwedeng meron dito sa palmar aspect, no? Or dito lang meron, hindi pwede. Kasi yung conglomeration naman is a mop-like smear, is a smudge, no? So, hindi ganyan ang positive result ng DPA paraffin. It should be the blue specks. And of course, with peelings dapat yan, no? Deep blue specks. Specks means it came within the skin. It was extracted from the skin. Yung specks na yan. No? So, kung smudge yan o kaya conglomeration, ine-negative ng forensic chemist yan. How about the concentric cracks? So concentric cracks are also known as, ito yung, saan yung concentric cracks? Halimbawa, ito ay ating glass. Kunyari, ito glass natin. Saan dito? Ito yung, nandito yung, andito yung force. Saan ang concentric cracks mamumuo? Dito ba o sa likod? Ito yung force. Dito sa side na to ang force. Okay, dito ang force. Nasaan ang concentric cracks? Is it at the rear? Sa likod ba o dito sa harap? Tingnan natin. Okay, sa harap, no? the concentric cracks are usually the secondary, hindi sa rear o hindi sa likod. It's on the front side of the impact, no? So what is found at the back, which is usually the first crack, is number 38. Yun yung ating radial. So concentric is at the front side. So it is referred as the secondary fractures. Okay, secondary fracture siya, guys. Okay, how? So sa point of impact natin, halimbawa, ito yung ating ito yung ating what do you call this, the mirror. Gaganyan kasi yun eh, ko, it will bend, no? So magbe-bend yung kunyari ito yan, magbe-bend yung yung glass ng ganyan pag nandito yung yung pressure. So ang ma-stretch dito, no? So ang unang mababasag is yung sa likod. We call that as the radial, yung pahaba. That's the radial crack. Tapos, ginaganyan yan, but of course, it is invisible with the naked eye. So pag nag-straight ng ganyan, that's the time that the secondary fractures, no, with a cobweb-like structure ay mabubuo dito sa harap where the impact was applied to the glass pane. So ito, concentric is secondary. Pangalawang fracture yan. Ang una talagang nabubuo sa glass is we have the radial, or these are referred as the primary fractures. And the primary fractures usually starts at the rear side, doon sa likod ng ating glass, no? Because it is the back portion of the glass that will stretch out. So once the stretching limit is reached, that's the time that the glass will start to crack. Okay, ayan. Yung discuss ko sa inyo nakaraan. The purpose of the DPA paraffin test. Anong purpose of DPA? Okay, let's see. So we have to determine whether or not a person fired a gun with his bare hands, determines gunshot range, determines the approximate time of firing the gun, determines the caliber of the gun used. Anong sagot natin? It's letter A. Pabigay na question to. Okay, so this is letter A. All right. Number 40. Glass is a supercooled liquid which possesses blank and blank. Viscosity and rigidity, fluidity and viscosity, kaparehas yun. Viscosity and luminosity. Anong sagot? Okay, viscosity and rigidity. So what do you mean by viscosity? It is defined as resistance to flow. Kasi ang glass is pinalamig na liquid yan. So it's a highly viscous, meaning malapot na liquid, tas pinalamig. And then, nagiging rigid na siya. Or it's a tough. Alright, if a forensic chemist wants to determine whether hair is naturally fallen or forcibly pulled, which part of the hair will he examine? Is it the root, the shaft, the tip, or the whole hair? Okay, root. Yes, it's the root. Kasi, how will we determine whether it's naturally or forcibly pulled hair? Pag natural hair kasi yan, no? It does not contain any longer the root. Wala nang root yan kasi nga kaya lagas dahil nawala yung root. Pero kung yan, it was forcibly removed, let's say from the scalp, meron pang roots yan, no? It's oily and then it's bulbous. No? So makapal yung root ng hair. A fracture caused by a projectile has the shape of what? Is it spoke of a wheel, cobweb-like fracture, cone or crater-like, or wave shape? Pag yan tama ng bala, na sobrang bilis yung pag-travel niya doon sa glass, which of this is the characteristic of the fracture? Letter wala. Yes, the cone or the crater like. Yan. So, wala pag kasi, no, when a projectile or a bullet struck a glass pane, it will not produce the radial or the concentric cracks. However, ang mapoproduce niya is the crater-like shape, no, wherein the entrance is smaller and then the exit is with a larger hole. So, yun. Cone na nakahiga, syempre ng ganyan. Yan. So, yung wave shape naman sa mga nini, sa mga natural na mga causes ng fire, at natural causes ng fracture. There are two causes of fractures on glass. We have the natural causes and then the mechanical means. Yan. Fracture resembling a spoke of a wheel. Parang spoke daw ng wheel yan. Is it concentric or the radial? Pahaba. Yes, the radial. Ah. Kanina ka pa? Alright, next exhibits a regular pattern of radial and concentric cracks. Is it fresh fracture, fracture caused by heat, old fracture, or fracture caused by a projectile? O meron na tayo kaninang projectile. Alin ang sagot yan? It shows a regular pattern. Alright, fresh fracture. No? So, ang pagpipilian lang naman natin is fresh or old fracture. Pagka fresh fracture yan, no, it's regular. Pagka old fracture, no, it shows fine lines or extension lines on the radial fracture. So, diretsong ganyan yung fracture pero parang may mga sanga-sanga. So, pag merong ganon yung mga radial fractures, that means that those fractures are already old. No? Pag may mga nasanga-sanga pang dumagdag doon sa mga radial cracks. Yung mga pahaba ang radial cracks, ha? Alright, number 45. Which of the following is the main component of glass? Is it dolomite, phosphate, carbonate, silica? Letter B, it's silica. Ayan. Silicate, no? Silicon dioxide. So, chemically known as, so ang common name niya, silica, pero ang chemical name niya is silicon dioxide. Okay, cobweb-like structure. So, it's the concentric cracks. Yan. Now, when there is an even distribution of flakes around the gunshot hole in a glass, what is the position of the gunman? Is the gunman perpendicular? Is the gunman at the left side of the glass? Is the gunman at the right side of the glass? Or is the gunman at the rear side of the glass? Evenly distributed yung flakings. Okay, letter A. Yung 46 natin is concentric. Na hina-highlight ko naman ang sagot, Okay, so dito, when a person is perpendicular to a glass pane, no, there is an even distribution of the flakes, no, or the glass that will chip out, yung cracks, no, will be evenly distributed around the gunshot wound. Okay, so even yan. All right, number 48. It is a kind of glass which is made of two glasses where a plastic is sandwiched in between them. Tempered, laminated, window, or annealed. Nasa mga automobiles natin yan. All right, so it's the laminated glass. What's the other term for laminated glass? This is the safety glass. No? Safety glass or laminated glass. Okay. A test that determines the type of pattern of glass. So, ito sa mga ano na to, no? So, comparative analysis of glass to. It's the spectrographic analysis. Okay, ito naman. Oh, wait lang. Parang naano ako. Elements, we have trace elements and trace elements. Ay, no. Pinagbaligtad ko. Sorry. Spectrographic is for number 50. Kita niyo, pati ako nalito. Alright. So, for the type of the pattern of the glass, no, which will tell us the composition of the glass, ang sagot dito is the X-ray diffraction. Alright. Wait lang. Alright, so may nagtanong, no? Answer na number 49. Number 49 is X-ray diffraction. Annealed glass is a soft kind of glass. May nagtanong, ma'am, ano yung annealed glass? Annealed glass, it's another kind of glass which is with a soft texture. No? Malambot na ano yan, malambot na klase ng glass. Okay, number 50. A test to determine the presence of trace elements in glass. So, ito yung spectrographic natin. Yan. Number 51, the following statements are correct except, ayan. So, this is on collection. Each item collected at the crime scene must be placed in a container. An airtight container is used as a packaging material for blood-stained clothing. Collection of question specimens is always accompanied by a standard specimen. Collection of physical evidence can be done by specialized or trained police investigators. Which of the following is incorrect? Alin dyan yung hindi tama? Okay, let us see your answers. Letter B, no? So for blood-stained clothing, no? Ang ating container kasi is what? A paper bag. Eh, hindi natin siya pwedeng ilagay sa airtight container kasi nga makukulob yan. So pag nakulob, eventually, the different components of the blood will be destroyed. So yung letter B natin ang incorrect dito. So this is the exception. Kasi ang ating letter A is they should be collected individually. So that's maintenance of individuality. So isa yun sa guideline in ang collection of physical evidence. And then ito naman, okay, collection of question specimens, lagi tayong kumukuha ng standard or yung known specimen natin. Tapos, ito naman, no? It's the work of the police investigator, no? So sila yung mga trained persons in collecting evidence from the crime scene. So tama yan. Special cases lang yung ang mismong forensic chemist ang magko-collect ng mga physical evidence. So, but most of the time, no, the one that will collect the physical evidence, no, especially from the crime scenes, or the police investigators or yung SOCO natin. A chemical examination for semen that produces a red-orange pigmentation. So chemical test to, is it acid phosphatase, fluoresce, barbareous, or all of our choices? Okay, it is the letter, it's letter A. Kasi itong fluoresce natin, crystals yan eh. Barbareous crystals din. Ito lang yung color reaction yan, which is the acid phosphatase test. Yan. So if blood stains in different areas of the crime scene are collected and packed separately, what best guiding principle is applicable? A, sufficiency of samples. B, maintenance of individuality. C, labeling and sealing. D, standard for comparison. Anong sagot natin? If blood stains in different areas of the crime scene are collected and packed separately, what best guiding principle is applicable? Okay. So we have letter. Anong letter ang sagot dyan? Anong guiding principle ang fina-follow natin pagka pinak natin individually or separately yung mga blood stains? It's letter B, no? Maintenance of individuality. Why? No? So blood stains found in the different areas of the crime scene, no, should be packed and collected separately because we do not know yet the origin of those different blood stains. Halimbawa, kalat-kalat ang blood stains sa crime scene. So pag pinakdown natin yan, pag kinolect natin, hiwa-hiwalay ang packaging, no? To prevent cross-contamination or to prevent them by mixing all together because we do not know yet, no, the origin of these different blood samples. Malay natin kung ilan ang involved doon sa crime scene. Is it the blood of the victim? Is it the blood of the suspect? Kaya kailangan hiwa-hiwalay ang packaging. And that is maintenance of individuality. Okay. All right, number 54. If a blood stain is positive, blood stain yan, is positive with A cells plus anti-A and negative with B cells plus anti-B, what is its blood group? All right, so anong blood group nito? Remember stain yan. So it is positive with A cells, negative with B cells. So positive means there is agglutination. Tapos yung negative, no clumping or no agglutination. So positive siya sa A cells, negative siya sa B cells. Anong blood group nung blood stain natin? Okay, blood group, is it group O? Positive, negative? Positive sa A cells, negative sa B cells. We are grouping blood stains. So the technique that we're going to use here is the indirect technique. Ibig sabihin is the opposite of the direct. If a blood stain is positive, positive sa A cells, negative sa B cells. So negative, that's blood group B. Okay, the answer here is blood group B. Kung saan siya negative, kasi blood stain yan. Kung saan siya negative, yun yung blood group. Because what we apply here is the indirect technique. Ito. The following are characteristics of a seminal stain except. So it appears like an outline of a contour map. So seminal stain yan, ha? Then it gives a stiff, starchy feeling to the cloth. It has a grayish white or a yellowish stain. It emits a yellowish fluorescence under the UV light. Which of the four is not a characteristic of a seminal stain? It's letter D. Okay? Bakit letter D? Bluish kasi ang seminal stain under the UV light. No? So, yellow ang nakalagay dyan. It's bluish. So, this is incorrect. It appears like a contour map. Di ba pagka natuyo ang semen sa cloth, parang map yan. Okay. O yan. Tama lahat to eh. These are the characteristics of a seminal stain, except for letter D. The formation of a white ring or line of precipitate at the zone of contact of two liquids in human blood is determined by which test? Is it precipitin, confirmatory, preliminary, or blood grouping? Okay, precipitin. So from the word precipitate, ayan, precipitate, yan. Kung makikita niyo yung precipitate sa question, basta is for human blood. So ang keyword niya yan, human blood, is the precipitin test. Alright, number 57. What examination is best employed in the determination of the presence of spermatozoa in semen? Is it microscopic, biological, chemical, physical? Alin dito yung makaka-detect ng sperm cell? Is it biological, chemical, microscopic? Okay, letter A, syempre, no? Because the spermatozoa is microscopic in appearance. We cannot see that with our naked eye. All right. Land titles, birth certificates, transcript, diplomas are form of what type of evidence? Ayan, pabigay na question to. It's documentary. All right. When a blood stain collected on the shirt of a suspect has matched with the blood of the victim, what type of evidence is it? Is it circumstantial, direct, hearsay, or scientific? All right, it is circumstantial, no? So once na yung blood ng victim ay nag-positive, it matched with the blood stain found on the shirt of the suspect. Naging circumstantial yan, no? It was proven first, no? Through examinations na nag-match nga yung blood, no? Blood ng victim doon sa shirt ng suspect. So magiging circumstantial evidences against the suspect. Kasi ang tanong, paano napunta yung blood ng victim doon sa shirt niya? Okay. About this one, it is defined as a proof of allegation. Okay, evidence, syempre. So it is evidence. The following are the roles of a forensic chemist except. Okay, baba natin para makita. A, conducts examination in the identification of explosive ingredients. B, conducts autopsy on a dead body. All right. Conducts examination of whether a location is a clandestine lab. conducts blood alcohol concentration determination. Which of these is not the role of a forensic chemist? It's letter C, autopsy. Sino nag-autopsy? Siyempre yung ating medical legal officer. No? So this is the work of the medical practitioner, not a forensic chemist. Which does not belong to the group? Red blood cells, white blood cells, blood platelets, plasma. All of them are the different components. Okay, it's the plasma kasi it's the liquid part. Lahat ito kasi, the red blood cells, white blood cells, blood platelets, these are the solid, no, solid composition of blood. Ito lang yung naiba, which is the plasma. So this is the fluid portion of the blood, which is how many percent? Ilang percent to? 55%. Now 45% are the formed elements, and then 55% is the plasma. All right. The chronological order in the test for blood, is it A, B, C, D? A ang sagot. So preliminary muna, and then after nag-positive, i-confirm natin. Pag na-confirm natin na blood, is it animal or human blood? And then we have the blood grouping. If blood stains are found on large immovable objects like walls, floors, and doors, what is the best method used in the collection? Is it by scraping, by swabbing, placing the stains in test tubes, the use of blotting paper? Okay, by scraping, yes, no? So this is done by scraping. If blood stains are found on movable objects like hammers and knives, who is the ideal person to collect the stain? Yan. Anong sagot natin dito? Is it the police investigator, forensic chemist, the lawyer, or the arresting officer? It's the forensic chemist, no? So, movable object, blood stain yung pinag-uusapan dito, di ba? So, kung ang pinag-uusapan ay yung blood stain, halimbawa, nasa hammer yan, it's the work now of the forensic chemist to collect the stain, no? Ang trabaho ng investigator dyan, no, is to collect the knife and the hammer. Pero ang magko-collect ng stain doon sa mismong hammer, it's already the work of the forensic chemist. So ito, is it forensic chem, forensic toxi, medicine, or ballistic? Okay, chemistry kasi ang toxicology, that is the study of poison. So if it is the application of chemical principles, no, it's all about forensic chemistry. Pagka poison, it is toxicology. Red blood cells agglutinated or positive with anti-A but not with anti-B. What is the blood group? Red blood cells positive with anti-A but negative with anti-B. What's the blood group? It's group A. Okay, so the technique that is used here, kasi red blood cells yan, is the direct. So kung saan siya positive, yun yung blood group. So this is group, the blood group indicated here is group A. Ayan. Okay. A group O child could not be produced by which pair of parents? Alin dyan ang hindi dapat magkaroon ng group O na anak? Is it letter A, letter B, letter C, letter D? Sa crisscross method to, law of genetics na tayo dyan, it's letter A. Okay. So ito kasi, when you're going to crisscross, no, when you're going to crisscross the blood groups, walang lalabas na letter O dyan. So ito, it is A. I-crisscross mo sa B. So AB lalabas. So ito, when you pair this, O ang i-pair mo dito AB tsaka B. So pag pinair mo yung A sa B, AB lalabas. Pag pinair mo yung A sa O, so dominant yung A, AO yung magpa-pair doon, dominant yung A. Then i-pair mo si B kay B, so BB yan. So the blood group is B. Then pag pinair mo tong si B doon sa kapares nito ng O, BO ang lalabas. So ang dominant pa rin doon B. So walang group O na anak itong couple na to. Okay, so it's group AB father and group B mother, or vice versa. Pwedeng si father yung B, pwedeng si mother yung AB. Alright, number 69. In what test for semen can you observe the presence of choline for iodide crystals? So, i-cross out na natin si microscopic. I-cross out na natin si acid phosphatase. Dalawa na lang yung pagpipilian natin. Anong sagot nyo dyan sa A and B? It's Florence. So, choline for iodide is the positive result of Florence test. Ayan. The best way to locate and at the same time characterize a seminal stain among the three. So, hindi kasama si fluorescence dyan. Fluorescence test for semen is just a preliminary or is a physical examination. So, hindi kasama yan. So, it is the, yan. Although this is a color reaction test, the most or the best way is to use the acid phosphatase test. Number 71. Under the UV light, seminal and blood stains emit fluorescence. What color do they impart? Bluish. Ayan. Nabanggit ko kasi ito kanina. So, it's bluish. Yellow tsaka blue lang yung pagpipilian nyo naman dyan eh. Take note guys, ang yellow lang naman na fluorescence is for the vegetable fibers. So, animal fibers, blue yan. Tapos, ang semen and blood, blue din ang fluorescence niya. So, yun lang. Apat lang yung na-identify natin using the fluorescence test. Then number 72, how many percent of formalin is added to fluid semen as a preservative? Is it 10, 15, 0.9, 20%? 10, yes, it's 10%. Ang 0.9 natin sa saline yan eh. Saline is the one which is used in dissolving blood samples in the different examinations. Ano nga pala ang preservative ng blood? Parang hindi ko, parang wala dito yung preservative ng blood. Ano preservative ng blood natin? Mamaya na, sige mamaya na, para hindi kayo malito. So ito yung pinaka-preservative ng semen natin, fluid semen. It's 10% formalin or we call it, the other one is tall wall. So, dalawa ang pwede nating preservative. Copper, salts, potatoes, and copper salts, potatoes, horseradish are the limitations of what test? Is it luminol, benzidine, phenolphthalein, or guaiaco? Yes, it's phenolphthalein. Yan. What's the other term for phenolphthalein? Kastle-Meyer test. Na baka mamaya ang choice natin is the Kastle-Meyer test. So in what preliminary test for blood can you observe an intense blue color? Is it luminol, benzidine, guaiacum, or phenolphthalein? Benzidine. Iisang tao lang ba itong nagsasagot sa akin? Okay, so it is the benzidine. How about the principle which is involved in the preliminary test for blood? Is it oxidation, reduction, dehydration, hydration? Alright, oxidation. Ayan, marunong na pala kayo. May mga retention na nangyari. Walang dito kung wala kayong mga reviewer. Bakit dalawa? Alright. The only specific or conclusive test for semen and seminal stains, alin sa apat? It's microscopic examination. Why microscopic? Because it is the one which determines the presence of spermatozoa. So in the forensic characterization or from the criminalistic standpoint, one can prove that a fluid or that a stain is really semen if the spermatozoa is present, and we can only detect the presence of spermatozoa using the microscopic examination. So ito yung pinaka-conclusive sa lahat. Okay, number 77. Ito na pala yung preservative ng blood. Is it sodium fluoride, ethyl alcohol, sodium chloride, or formalin? It's sodium fluoride. Ayan. Which crystals confirm the presence of hemoglobin in the blood? Is it choline? Is it hemochromogen, spermine picrate, or none of the above? Hemochromogen. Okay, so from the word hemoglobin, ito na siya. Blood of different species can be differentiated by what test? Is it microscopic, spectroscopic, microcrystalline, or all of the choices? Letter. Okay, so specifically, ang sagot class is the microscopic test. Ang sagot dito. So, from the criminalistic standpoint, 76, microscopic pa rin. Okay, so dito, from the criminalistic standpoint, microscopic examination is used to differentiate whether a state or whether blood is of human or mammalian, avian, piscine, or a reptilian blood. And for the mensuration and mensuration investigation of blood corpuscles, it's the microscopic examination. How about number 80? The most delicate and most reliable test for the determination of whether stain is really blood. Is it spectroscopic, microcrystalline, microchemical, or microscopic? Spectroscopic. Yan. So, kasi ito yung ating instrumental method. It's an instrumental method with the use of the spectroscope. So from the word spectrum, light, So there are visible lights which are observed, once the stain is really blood. An enzyme that accelerates oxidation of several classes of organic compounds by peroxide in the preliminary test for blood. What is it? PSD? Ayan, letter A. Is it A? B, peroxidase. So, ito yung sagot yan. Alright, a condition wherein males have no spermatozoa at all in their seminal fluid. Aspermia, oligospermia, o yung dalawa lang pagpipilian nyo dyan eh. Okay, aspermia. Pagka low sperm count, no, it's the oligospermia. Test to determine whether stain is really blood. Is it precipitin, confirmatory, blood grouping, preliminary? Really? Confirm, okay? So really blood, you have to confirm it. So from the word confirm. These are chemical principles or structures found in the surface of each red blood cell. Is it antigen, agglutinins, protein, genes? Antigens, yes. Kasi yung ating agglutinins, ang pagpipilian naman natin, dalawa lang eh. It is antigen, agglutinin. So, ang antigen natin nasa red blood cells, ang agglutinins natin nasa serum. Okay, so those are the antibodies. All right. The best method used in grouping of dry blood stain or in blood stain. Ayan. Nangyari dito. Mali-mali yung ano, yung ating mga typographical error. Ayan. Is it indirect, direct, grouping, regrouping? Okay, the indirect method, nabanggit ko rin kanina to. So if it's a blood stain, you have to use the indirect or the absorption elution technique. Oh, this one. The following statements are correct except all blood stains can be identified by the precipitin test. Heat affects precipitin test. Precipitin test is not specific for to human blood. Acids and alcohols may inhibit or even destroy the precipitin reaction. Which of them is incorrect? Letter C, kasi nga specific na yan eh, no? So yung not specific ang tumalo dyan. So ito yung sagot. Kasi letter B and letter C are actually the limitations of the precipitin test. All blood stains can be identified using a precipitin test. So even old stains can respond to the precipitin test, whether fresh yan or whether bago o kaya lumang stain yan, kahit years old yan, nagre-respond pa dyan sa precipitin reaction. Oh, this one. The liquid portion of unclotted blood when it is allowed to stand for some time. Unclotted. All right, so it's the serum. Clotted is yung dalawa lang pagpipilian na naman natin dyan eh. Is plasma or serum. So, aralin nyo yung mag-ano kayo, yung nagko-cross out kayo ng mga choices, no? Para halimbawa, maganda yun eh, yung nagka-cross kayo ng mga choices, tapos pili na lang kayo in between two, ganyan. To prove that a stain really contains blood, the presence of hemoglobin must be established by this test. Alin dyan ang sagot? Microcrystalline, spectroscopic, none of these, both microcrystalline and spectroscopic. All right, both. Elimination, tama. Okay, mag-eliminate, tama, mag-eliminate kayo. Alright, so dito, no, it's both. Because these are both microcrystalline and spectroscopic are confirmatory tests for blood. And confirmatory seeks to establish the identity whether it is really blood or not. And paano natin malalaman na really blood yan? It should be the presence of hemoglobin. Ayan. Tama, mag-eliminate kayo para. Which of these is the answer? A preliminary test for blood, also known as the Kastle-Meyer test. Yes, it's the phenolphthalein. Nabanggit ko to kanina. So may mga repetition na lang ng questions o kaya inano na lang yung question eh. Inikot yung question. Evidence that establishes the main fact of issue. Is it hearsay, scientific, direct, or testimonial? It's direct. Okay. Scientific is where scientific knowledge is applied. Ang hearsay naman, it's an evidence which is not based on our. Okay, ang hearsay, sabi-sabi. Testimonial is the statement which is made by witnesses inside the court. Ang direct, yun yung mga, it gives the main fact of the issue. They are responsible for the transmission of hereditary characteristics. Which of these? Is it blood, genes, cells, enzymes? It's our genes, yes. This refers to a person who is requested to give information concerning an incident or a person. Assailant, witness, investigator, suspect. Okay, it is the witness, letter B. So anybody who will give information is a witness. Meron pa ba? All right. Scientific knowledge is necessary. Bigay na question to. It's scientific. Nakita nyo yung, ito, nandito na yung scientific knowledge. Okay. Known specimens that are used to compare with a question. Is it standard, question, evidence? Standard. Yes. So, known specimen is called the standard. Usually, nanggagaling sa victim yan. How about number 96? The most commonly used preliminary test for blood. Alin sa apat yung laging kalimitan ginagamit? It's the benzidine. Yes, it's letter B. If a stain is positive with benzidine, Takayama, and lastly with the precipitin, this means that A, the stain is human blood, B, the stain is animal blood, the stain is group AB, the stain is not blood. Ano sagot? Okay, letter. Alright, so nag-positive na siya sa benzidine, Takayama, and precipitin. So meaning, human blood yan. Because the precipitin is to determine whether blood is of human or animal origin. So it's human blood. The fluid portion of blood which separates when blood did not clot due to the addition of an oxalate. Na iba lang na ano to. Na iba na tanong. If this is the did not clot, so plasma. Kaparehas ng tanong, na reward lang. Tanong kanina. Ayan. How about the positive result of Barberio's test? Is it formation of choline periodide, formation of spermine picrate, formation of a red-orange pigmentation, the presence of a spermatozoa? Sperm intake rate. Ayan. Kasi ito, kay Florence to eh. Formation of choline peroxide, kay Florence yan. This is the Barbarians. Ito, kay acid phosphatase. Ito, this is the microscopic. O, yun lang naman ang tatandaan nyo dyan. Pag nakita nyo naman yung mga questions, matatandaan nyo yan. Or marirecall nyo. Human blood groups were discovered by Gawan, Landsteiner, Farnum, Gavin. Sino ang discover ng blood groups natin? It was Landsteiner. Universal donor group. Okay, group O. All right, number 102. A person is said to be deeply intoxicated when the percentage of alcohol in his blood is blank. Alin dyan yung intoxicated ang tao? Is it 0.50, 0.20, 0.18, 0.10%? Okay, letter A. So kasi ito, somewhat stimulated lang yan to confusion until dito, stupor. So ito yung deeply intoxicated. So alcoholic na yung tao dyan. So letter A ang sagot. Grain alcohol is the component of wines and liquors. What is its other name? Anong component ng alcohol natin? Yes, ethyl. Okay. So ethyl or ethanol. Nasa toxin na pala tayo. If alcohol is found inside the human body, through what route is it best eliminated? Is it perspiration, urine, feces, or saliva? Yes, urine. Siyempre. Matakot kayo pagka umiinom kayo, lalo kung beer, tapos hindi kayo umihi. Alright. When the percentage of alcohol in the blood is between 0.10 to 0.30%, what is the stage of intoxication? Is it confusion, stupor, apparent stimulation, or coma? Dito tayo sa confusion. Okay, so that's confusion. Yun yung hindi na alam kung anong ginagawa. Nagiging madaldal, ganyan. Apparent stimulation is 0.05 to 0.10%. Ang stupor natin, 0.20 to 0.30%. Coma is 0.30 to and more, ang comatose. When a person is in a state of confusion, what are the clinical manifestations? Ano confuse yung tao? Ano ba ang nito? Clinical manifestations. Is it disturbance of sensation, decreased pain sense, slurred speech, marked decrease in stimuli approaching paralysis, complete unconsciousness, decreased inhibition, emotional instability, and coordination? Alin dyan yung confusion? Is it letter ang unconsciousness sa comatose na yun eh. Paralysis, hindi. So mag-eliminate kayo. Eliminate natin yung B and C. Which of the two is the correct answer? Is it letter A or letter D? Confusion. Okay, it's letter A. Yes. Ito kasi letter itong instability is stimulation itong letter D natin. So it's letter A ang sagot. It is also known as agricultural soil. Pabigay na question to eh. Alin dyan yung sagot? I think less than 200. Tigilan natin? Tigilan natin? Diretso. 500. Di naman. Okay, when the percentage of alcohol is between 0.35 to 0.60%, what is the stage of intoxication? O, hindi na to. Eliminate natin yung simulation saka confusion. O, alin dito sa dalawa ang sagot? Is it A or letter B? Yes, A na. No? Says letter A. Gusto nyo 100 items lang? O 150? Alright. It deals with the systematic arrangement and identification of rock forming minerals, rocks, and soil. Is it geology, petrography, petrographic analysis, spectrographic analysis? Petrography. Okay, geology, buo yan eh, generalize yan. Petrography is with soil. Ito mga examinations na to. So, eliminate nyo yung letter C and D. Heavy yes, ay nandiyan na yung sagot. It is formed when dust is mixed with the sweat and grease of the human body. Alin dito ang sagot? Mud, grime, gypsum, silicates. Grime. Okay, grime is libag. All right. The most commonly used test to determine the density of soil analysis. The thermal, spectrographic, flotation, and then use of the density gradient apparatus. Andyan. Okay, use of the density. Pottery industries. Alin dito? Pots. Okay, clay. Alright, so DNA tayo. Which of the following statements is not true? DNA is stable since it can be isolated from material that is months or even years old. DNA can be obtained from a wide variety of biological sources like blood, semen, hair, saliva, and bones. DNA can be replicated in the lab from a very small amount of initial material through the process called PCR. DNA does not show greater variability from one individual to another. Which of these statements is incorrect? Not. Ayan, letter D. Okay, because DNA show a greater variability from one individual to another, no? So we have a unique DNA pattern, no? Each one of us have unique DNA pattern. So it shows a variable meaning different ang ating DNA. The following are the biological specimens used for DNA. Which of the following is not accepted? A, B, C, or D? Anong sagot sa number 115? Hair without. Dapat kasi may roots, no? Kaya sa collection natin ng hair samples, it is always with roots. No, pag nag-submit ang investigators ng mga blood samples, especially the standard hair, kailangan may kasamang roots. So pag walang roots yung sinubmit, tatapon ng chemist yan. Which of the following is incorrect? If the evidentiary sample is similar with that of the suspect, it means the evidentiary sample came from the suspect. If the evidentiary sample is different with that of the suspect, it means the evidentiary came from the victim. Okay, tapos, if the reference sample is the same as that of the evidentiary sample, it means that it came from the suspect. If the evidentiary sample is the same as that of the reference sample, it means it came from a random individual. Alin sa apat yung tamang statement? Teka, iyan natin. Pagsamasamahin natin para makita nyo. O, kayo na magbasa. Which is the best correct answer there? A, yes. Okay, it's the A. Okay, so ito yung sagot dito. Pag yung evidentiary sample, evidentiary is the question, no? If the evidentiary sample is similar with that of the suspect, so ibig sabihin, galing sa suspect yun. Yan. Nangyari. All right, number 117, the hereditary material that contains the genetic information necessary for the duplication of cells and production of proteins in living organisms. It's cells, deoxyribonucleic acid, chromosomes, enzymes. Which of the following is the best answer? Okay, the DNA. Siyempre. So it is the deoxyribonucleic acid. Oh, how about this one? Oh, history natin. What's the answer? (116). Letter A ang 116. Okay, answer for number 118 is, it was Dr. Alec Jeffries. So he was a molecular biologist, no, who introduced DNA, no. Ang unang application niyan is fingerprint. These are finely powdered materials that may be found on the clothing and footwear of employees engaged in such industries. Is it occupational, road and footpath, dust deposited in the air, or industrial dust? Letter, wala na. Are you still listening? Anong sagot sa number 119? Eliminate natin si road and footpath dust. Eliminate natin si B and C. It is found on the clothing and footwear of the employees. Is it a letter A or letter B? D, I should say. It's A. Okay? Nasa clothing yun eh. So it's letter A. This will tell us, no, the occupation of the person wearing that clothing or the footwear. Which of the following statements is correct? It is always possible to determine the whereabouts of a suspect using soil as evidence. Soil as evidence in crime investigation is corroborative evidence. Soil found in the belongings of the suspect can prove that he is guilty. Soil can be analyzed by microscopic examination. Alin dyan yung pinaka-correct na answer? Letter? Okay, letter B. It's a corroborative evidence against the suspect. It is referred to as the naturally occurring organic materials found in the earth's surface. Soil, dust, mud, grime. Anong sagot? It's... Okay, letter B. In the analysis of dust and dirt, what specific test should be employed if there is only a small amount of specimen? Is it thermal analysis, the density gradient, tube analysis, spectrographic, or the X-ray diffraction? Alright, ang density kasi, hindi pa pwede dyan yung konti, no? So, it is this spectrographic analysis. Ito lang pagpipilian nyo, yung dalawa. So, if it is a small amount only, we can use the spectrographic analysis kasi hindi masisira dyan yung soil sample natin. Dun sa thermal kasi, magbabago ang composition ng soil dyan. Then, the density gradient apparatus, no? Gagamit tayo ng chemicals dyan. So, it will alter also again the soil sample. Pag X-ray, dapat sufficient ang ating samples dyan. It consists of small particles of weathered rock and is usually formed by the breakdown or fragmentation of rocks like granite, limestone, and quartz. So, hindi kasama si clay dyan, tsaka si loamy. Alin sa dalawa? Is it the sandy or the silt? It's letter A. It's the sandy soil. Ano pinagkaiba ng sandy sa silt? So sandy soil is the particles of sand is larger than the particles of the silt. Silt is mas maliliit kaysa sa sandy, mas malalaki sa clay. So in between nung dalawa. Which of the following is the exception? Siyempre, DPA. Alright, it involves the application of a chemical solution on a metallic surface where the serial numbers are embedded and observing any chemical reaction that may take place. Is it macro, micro, both, or none of the choices? Dalawa lang pagpipilian natin. So, eliminate natin yung letter C and D. Alin dito sa dalawa? It is the... Hello? Okay pa ba kayo? Kaya pa? Okay, it's letter A. It's macro etching. So this is macro etching or the acid etching method, no? Kasi lahat ng ginagamit natin is acid. So this is in the restoration of tampered serial numbers class. Sa metallurgy na tayo. The following are importance of the importance of macro etching in criminal investigation except conflicting claims of properties recovered by investigators can be resolved. B, the property found in the possession of the suspect can be proven that it is actually owned by the victim. The property that may have been taken from the scene of the crime can be established. The actual date and time the property was purchased can be determined. Okay, macro etching to. Which of these statements is incorrect? Is it A, B, C, D? Alin dyan ang hindi pwede? Yes, it's letter D. Wala pa ako matimingan? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ano yung hindi mo matimingan? Okay. Ano yung hindi na timingan? Wala pa siyang, wala pa siyang correct. Okay. Kala ko ano. Ayun, i-send ko na lang itong mga ano, itong review materials na to kay Sir Noli niyo para may magamit kayo. Alright, how about this one? Chemicals, reagents used to restore numbers in iron and steel. Okay, nitric acid plus glycerin plus hydrofluoric acid. That's letter A. Letter B, cupric chloride, hydrochloric acid, 15% nitric acid. Glacial acetic acid, concentrated nitric acid. Which is the best? Yung common na ginagamit. Napapagod na kayo? I think 190 yata to. 300. Alright, so ang sagot dito is letter A. Ano, kaya pa? Bigay ko na lang kay Sir Noli nyo ito, then re-review nyo. Ha? Okay. 600 sa board exam. Alright, which of the following statement is correct? Ganito lang naman yun eh. Ang mahirap dito yung mga ganitong mga tanong, mga situational na questions. It is not always possible to restore the original numbers of tampered serial numbers. It is always possible to restore the original numbers of tampered serial numbers. It is not possible to restore. It is possible to restore. Alin dyan ang pinakatama? Is it A, B, C, D? Okay, the answer is letter A. All right, so it is not always possible, class. It's not always possible to restore the original numbers of tampered serial numbers. Why? Kasi may limitation ito, no? If the filing is too deep, pag sobrang lalim, yung pagkakabura ng numbers, hindi na talaga ma-restore yan sa sobrang kalaliman. No? So it's not always, that's the limitation of the restoration of tampered serial numbers. It's not always possible. Okay, a mixture of copper chloride plus hydrochloric acid plus water, which is solution number 1, and solution number 2 containing 15% nitric acid is the best etching fluid to what kind, for what kind of metal in macro etching? So, ang sagot dito guys is iron and steel. Okay, so pagka ang bakal or the, let's say, the most commonly tampered serial numbers are anyway motor vehicles, mga chassis ng sasakyan, tsaka mga firearms, di ba? Serial numbers ng firearms. Gawa ito sa iron and steel. So, the etching fluid, which is usually used, are composed of solutions number 1 and number 2. So, laging yan ang ginagamit. Yung silver, ang ginagamit yan, nitric acid. Ang gold, glacial acetic acid. Aluminum is, we have the nitric acid and nandun sa taas. Sana yun. Ayun, glycerin and hydrofluoric acid. Okay. So, for the following are methods applied to soil analysis except, so, lahat yan, gas chromatography ang sagot. Remember class, ang soil analysis, the analysis which are employed in the analysis of glass are also the same analysis which are employed in the soil, which are employed in soil analysis. Na parehas lang yung mga test na ginagamit dyan. Tandaan niyo, soil at saka glass, magkaparehas lang yung mga examinations na kinakandak dyan. All right, which of the following is the best method applied in blood alcohol concentration determination? Is it gas chromatography, thermal, DNA spectrographic analysis? Alcohol concentration. Can we apply DNA analysis? Hindi. Okay? So, ang DNA analysis, pag blood, it's the origin of blood. Pero kung alcohol concentration determination, we can use the gas chromatography. Okay. Thermal analysis is for soil. DNA analysis is for the component or whose blood is that. Eh, ang tinatanong dito, blood alcohol concentration determination. Spectrographic, this is an instrumental method used usually in soil and glass. All right. The number 132, a classification of dust that can be used by investigators as investigative lead in identification of victims in crime scenes. Is it occupational, industrial, road and footpath, or dust deposited in the air? Identification of victims. Okay, it is the letter A, occupational. Pag unidentified ang victim class, no? Dibawa, it's the victim is already dead, tapos unidentified yan, no? So walang pagkakakilanlan doon sa victim natin. So an investigative lead for the investigators is the clothing of the victim. Kung merong mga ano yan, mancha or some dust are deposited, kunyari chalk, o kaya mud, o kaya cement, ayun, no? So this will give an investigative lead kung ano yung klase ng trabaho ng tao na yun. Okay? The ideal amount of soil sample to be submitted for soil analysis, especially in soil density gradient apparatus. Take note, it should be 25 milligrams. Okay, ayan. Ito lumabas sa board exam to noon. Once a DNA sample is submitted for analysis, after how many days or hours will the forensic examiner release the result? Is it 24 to 36, 48 to 72, 24 hours, or 48? Minimum. Sino nakakaalam nito? Meron pa? May nakakaalam? Okay, it is letter D. 72 is for the paraffin test. Ito, 48 hours lang. Okay, dapat ilabas ang result ng DNA after 48 hours. A cast of a shoe impression collected at a crime scene is considered as A, question, standard, physical, or all of the choices. Ulitin natin ha. A cast of a shoe impression collected at a crime scene. Ano yun? Shoe mark yun, tapos i-collect. Is it the question, the standard? Letter A. It's the question. Kaya mo i-collect yung shoe print na yon kasi you're going to question that eh. Ang tanong kasi, kaninong shoe prints yan? No? So, yun yung question natin. Ang standard natin, halimbawa apprehended yung suspect, ang pinaka-standard natin yung mismong sapatos ng nung suspect. Okay? So, ito, ano to eh, generalized tong physical evidence. So, eliminate natin tong dalawa. So, dito tayo mamimili sa question and standard. 136. The best specimen submitted for toxicological examination for cyanide and solvent poisoning. Solvent yan. Anong ginagawa sa solvent? At ano yung best na specimen dito? Is it the brain, Is it lungs? Is it liver? Is it the blood? Anong affected? Okay, letter A. Yes, brain. Oh, alam niyo na pala to. All right. It deals with the uses, effects, and modes of action of poisons. Is it, dalawa lang pagpipilian, A and B. Eliminate natin yung C and D. Is it posology or pharmacology? Okay, pharmacology. Ang posology is the quantity of medicine, ha? So, ang sagot dito is pharmacology. So, pag uses and effects, it's pharmacology. Pag quantity, it's the posology. A physical antidote that produces intestinal evacuation. Lalabas lahat yung laman ng tiyan. Emetics, cathartics, precipitants, demulcents. Intestinal evacuation. Cathartics is, example nito is catheter. Pag pinasukan ng catheter yan, what will happen? So, ang sagot natin is cathartics. Emetics is a substance that induces vomiting. So, mag-vomit ka dyan, but not all the intestinal content will come out. So, ang cathartics kasi, talagang palalabasin niya lahat yan. When caffeine is given to a drunk person or a person poisoned with morphine, what type of antidote is caffeine here? Is it universal, physiological, chemical, or physical? Sino nakakaalam niyan? Type ang sagot. Okay, chemical. It will alter. Kasi ang chemical antidote, it will alter the poison. So, kung i-neutralize na yung effect ng alcohol. Coffee. Diba? Pag binigyan mo ng kape yung isang lasing na lasing, black coffee, huwag mo bigyan na may gatas yan or else magkaka-diarrhea yan. The largest amount, alin dito, that will cause no harm, no harm, so hindi kasama si lethal yan, lethal, nakamamatay yan eh. Toxic, so alin dito sa dalawa, largest, so it's the, is it maximum, minimum? Okay, maximum, largest eh. Okay, so maximum. The most detrimental among the methods of administration of drugs or poisons, is it A, intravenous injection, poisons are taken orally, hypodermic injection, and then poisons that are inhaled? Which of the following is the most dangerous? Okay, intravenous because that's through the veins. Hypodermic is through the skin. Ako sumasakit na ulo ko. Alright, poisons are more detrimental when they are diluted, except, alin dito yung pinaka-detrimental pag sobrang puro? Is it irritants, corrosive, solids, or saturated poison? Example ng corrosive. Ano example ng mga corrosive? Mga muriatic acid, gano'n. So, mas delikado muriatic acid pagka purong-puro. What happens? Umuusok siya, no? So, ang mga poisons, mas delikado yan pagka malabnaw. Pero ang corrosive poisons like yung liquid sosa, that's alkali, and then hydrochloric acid, yung muriatic acid natin, mas delikado yan pag purong-puro. So, corrosive ang tawag sa kanila. Poisons is more toxic. A poison is more toxic when it is it soluble, insoluble, slightly soluble, either soluble or insoluble? Kailan mas delikado ang poison? Pag madaling matunaw or hindi natutunaw? Okay, soluble. Ha? Kasi kung soluble ang poison, no, madali siyang humalo sa bituka natin, lalo kung nakain yung poison. Pero kung insoluble ang poison, less detrimental yan. Bakit? Kasi it will just go to our feces. Pupunta na lang sa pupo natin yun, tapos eventually lalabas. Pero pag soluble, no, i-absorb yan agad ng intestinal walls natin, then eventually through the blood. So, mas delikado pagka madaling matunaw ang poison. A term applied to individuals who exhibit unusual behavior to certain substances. Is it allergy, idiosyncrasy, addiction, tolerance? Example niyan is yung mga pamumul. Ayun, idiosyncrasy. Madali lang ba? Madali matunaw. Okay. So, idiosyncrasy, anong example dito? Yung namumula ang skin pagka umiinom, hindi allergy yun ha. That's idiosyncrasy. One in which the history is hazy as to how the poison was obtained and why it was administered. Is it accidental, undetermined, homicidal, suicidal? Undetermined, yes. Hindi alam. Hazy meaning hindi alam kung bakit binigyan ng ganun. This happens in hospitals. Pag may namatay silang pasyente, tapos nagkamali ng bigay, na halimbawa, antibiotic, lalong nagkaroon ng ng komplikasyon, ginagawa nilang undetermined yung cause ng death. Alright, poisons that act directly upon the spinal column. May nawawala dito. Spinal column. Producing such spasmodic and continuous contraction of muscles as a result of stiffness. Is it neurotics? Pag neurotics, ano yun eh? Okay, narcotics, tetanics, or corrosive? Anong sagot? Tetanics, yes. Tetanics is tetanus. Okay, pagka na-tetanus kasi, yan, namamanhid, then aakyat na yan sa utak, and then yun na yun. Ba't ayaw ba't Titanic naman yun? Alright. Poisons that acts on the nervous system. Is it neuro from the nervous neuro? Ayan na yan. Meron kayong keyword yan. Poisons that produce stupor, complete insensibility, loss of feeling. Alin ang sagot? Narcotics, syempre. Pag nababaliw na dahil sa pagkahay. So it's not narcotics. Poisons that produce irritation and inflammation of the mucous membrane and characterized by vomiting, pain in the abdomen, and purging. So, hindi kasama si sedative dyan, pampakalma yan eh. Tetanics, meron na tayo doon. Alin sa dalawa, is it corrosives or tetanic? Irritants. Ayun, irritants. Pag purging, irritants yan. Example ng irritants is yung arsenic. Arsenic is a rat poison. Ingredients of rat poison. Pag local destruction of tissues, nasunog yung yung part kung saan na-applyan mo, nainom. Characterized by nausea, vomiting, and great local distress. Okay, so we have corrosives. Poisons that are unstable and easily affected by heat, and examples are alcohol and phenol. Is it non-volatile, volatile, metallic, mineral? Okay, volatile. Ayan. Volatile, madaling sumingaw. Yung madaling mag-evaporate. Poisons that are chemically produced in the lab that have useful importance to its purpose. To their purpose, wrong grammar. but become poisonous when taken into the body. Okay, mineral, organic, synthetic, non-volatile. Which is the answer? Okay, synthetic, yes. So it's the synthetic poison. Mga na-produce sa laboratory. Ano mga example niyan? Mga household cleaners, mga Zonrox, mga insect spray, ganyan. Sleeping pills. So these are examples of synthetic poisons. All right. It is defined as the determination of drug use, poisoning, or exposure to toxic substances as part of legal investigation. Is it letter A or letter B? Okay, pag nasama na ang legal, so it's already forensic, no? So pag may kasama na siya legal, it's already forensic. Pagka study of poison, ganun lang, it's toxicology in general. All right. A chemical substance found in cough syrup. No, nakaka-addict din yan. It's codeine. Yan ang component ng ating mga ano na to, mga specific na to. This is the component of our mga cough syrup. If poison is due to alkali burns, no, tulad ng liquid sosa, what special treatment should be done? Wash with lemon or other citrus fruits. Wash with milk of magnesia. Wash with water and soap. And then wait for the doctor. Anong special treatment ang gagawin? So yung doctor, hindi na yan special treatment eh. Alin sa tatlo yung kailangan natin dyan? Huwag na yung water and soap din. So, alkali is a basic substance. Okay. So, anong pangontra sa alkali? Is it the milk of magnesia or a citrus fruits? Base yan, base. Anong ipangontra natin? Eliminate natin yung letter C and letter D. Which of the two do you think is the answer? Okay, letter A. Kasi, yung milk of magnesia, it is also alkali, no? Magnesium hydroxide to eh. So, ito, pag nilagyan mo yung liquid sosa is an alkali solution, ito, milk of magnesia is alkali solution. So, lalong masusunog yung nasabuyan ng liquid sosa. Kaya, ang ipang-neutralize mo dyan, ang pinaka-antidote niyan is wash it with, pigaan mo ng lemon o kaya citrus fruits. How about this one? The repeated taking of small dose of the drug. Is it habit, tolerance, addiction, immunity? Oh, anong sagot dyan? Habit, yes. It's your habits. Kasi mga small amount lang yan. Excessive use, addiction na yan. The action of poison when the stomach is full. Pagka ikaw ay na-expose sa isang poison, okay, well, alin na mas affected? Is it yung gutom na tao o yung busog na tao? Will it stop the effect of poison? Will it slow down? Will it prevent or will it hasten? What's the answer? It will? Gutom. Okay, mas madaling maapektuhin yung gutom. So, kung full ang stomach, this will slow down. No? So, this will slow down the effect of the poison. Okay. Acid found in vinegar. Is it the muriatic? Sulfuric, nitric? Sino nakakaalam yan? It's, yes, acetic acid. Muriatic acid natin is our hydrochloric acid. Poisons found in the skin of frogs. Tawag sa kanyan, sa umbinum, sa ano yan, sa ahas. Prusic is sting ng wild ants and bees. Okay, tomaine, ito yung mga uod. So, bufotoxin ang tawag. It may be bufotoxin or bufotolin. So, this is found. Ang sabi ng iba, yun daw ihi ng frog ang poisonous. Hindi. No? Ang poison niya nasa balat. No? It's found on the skin of the frog. It's not on the urine. So, to what route is the best way of eliminating alcohol from the body? Okay, ano na to? Pabigay ng question. So, it's the urine. The best specimen submitted for drug analysis in doping in athletes. Is it blood, urine, liver, vomitus? Tanggalin na natin liver. Alam man, tanggalan mo na liver yan. Athlete yan. Which is the answer? Is it blood or urine? Alright, urine. Hindi pwedeng blood kasi hindi mo pwedeng bawasan ng blood din yan. Athlete yan eh. So it's the urine. Okay? Why? Because it is the most available specimen. Doping means ititingnan kung nakadrugs yung mga athlete. Yan naman ang ginagawa sa mga athletes natin eh. Okay? They have to undergo a drug test first kasi maaaring may gumamit na mga, naman tawag na magpalakas. Steroid, yes. May sumasagot na sa estudyante dito. Alright, so ayan. Okay. The advantage of using urine in drug tests. So which is the advantage? A, the concentration of drugs in the urine is 100 times higher than that in the blood. The concentration of drugs in the blood is 100 times greater than that in the urine. Drugs are excreted almost entirely as metabolites in the urine. Drugs are present as metabolites in the blood. Which of these is the best answer? Okay, letter A. Tama, letter A. Okay, so mas marami ang concentration ng drugs sa urine natin kaysa sa blood, no? So that's the advantage of using urine than that of the blood. A poisonous gas that is usually found in exhaust of automobiles. Which of these? Is it A, B, C, D? Okay, it's carbon. Yan, carbon monoxide. Poisonous ang carbon monoxide last, no? Ang carbon dioxide hindi. Example ng carbon dioxide natin ay yung utot natin. O, hindi naman poisonous yun eh. A type of poisoning where there is a prompt disturbance due to taking the poison in an excessive single dose. Is it, ang pagpipilian na lang natin is B and letter C. Eliminate natin yung A and D. Is it acute or chronic? Mabilisan na effect ng poison. Is it acute or the chronic? Acute. Kasi ang chronic is gradual deterioration, no? So, papipilian lang natin dito sa B and C. So, the answer, class, is letter B. So, acute means mabilis na effect ng poison dahil sobrang dami, excessive single dose. Ang chronic naman, it is dahan-dahan. There is a gradual deterioration. Example niyan, those person that are into drugs, into smoking, alcoholism, yan. That's chronic poisoning. Unti-unti mong dineteriorate yung iyong katawan. Alright, substance present in marijuana that causes its hallucinogenic effect. Cannabinoids. Okay, so it's the THC or tetrahydrocannabinol or cannabinoids. Ayan yung component ng marijuana na nagkakos ng hallucination. Substance that counteracts or neutralizes the effect of poison. Answer, letter A, B, C, D. Okay, it's antidote, syempre. All right. It is also known as antagonist. Is it universal, physical, chemical, physiological? So it's ito, physiological antidote. Agents that retard or depress the physiological action of organs or slow down the functioning of the brain. Alin dito ang sagot? Wait, tingnan natin. Ayan. Is it sedative, narcotics, exhaustive, or stimulant? Letter? Okay, sedatives. No, pampakalma. The best specimen submitted for toxicological analysis when the poison was taken orally. O, kinain ng poison, anong specimen na isa-submit natin? Liver, stomach contents, kidney, brain. Letter? Kinain. Stomach, syempre. So, ito. Oral oral taking of the poison. So, nasa bituka yun. So, it is the stomach. Oh. Ano to? Tawag dito? Common sense. So, kung kinain ng poison, nasaan yung poison? Siyempre, nasa stomach natin. Most useful specimen for toxicological analysis in decomposed or exhumed bodies. Pag nabubulok na yung yung body, alin ang dapat i-submit? Is it the liver, the kidney, lungs, or bile? Alin kasi yung pinakamalaking part ng katawan natin? Diyan, yung internal organ. Yes, it's the liver, no? So because of the size of the liver, so this is the best specimen which is useful for exhumed or decomposed body. Pagka naaagnas na yung nabubulok na yung katawan, liver intact pa yan. Kaya yan ang isa-submit. An acid that is natural, that is a natural component of the stomach that aids in digestion. Alin dyan? Is it formic, prussic, hydrochloric, lactic? Letter? Okay, hydrochloric acid class, no? So, there is a small amount of hydrochloric acid in our stomach that aids in digestion. Ang lactic acid sa milk yan. Prussic acid is nasa yan yung sting ng ants and spiders. Okay, yung formic naman organic na yun eh. Yan. A poisonous substance found in paints, adhesives, solvents, and rugby. Anong nasa rugby na mabango? Is it codeine? O nasa cough syrup ang codeine? Is it morphine? Morphine is drugs for pain relievers yung mga cancer patients. Atropine or is it tolwyn? Anong sagot dyan? It's, yes, letter B, it's tolwyn. Okay, yung mabango sa rugby is tolwyn. Yun yung nakaka-addict dyan. Okay, a bluish or purplish discoloration of the skin due to lack of oxygen in the body. Cyanosis, allergy, psoriasis. Okay, it's the cyanosis. Mga bluish na Alright. Poison secreted by microorganisms. Example nito is red tide. Alin dyan yung alin ng red tide dyan? Is it bacteria, toxin, fungi, tomaine? Any idea? Yes, it's toxin. Pag in-excrete ang poison or secreted ang poison, it's a toxin. All right. The specimen submitted for chemical toxicological examination in mercury poisoning. Is it liver, kidney, lungs, blood? Kidney, yes. Oh, malapit na tayo matapos. Poisons produced from decaying matter is spoiled meat. Ito na yung domain natin, ha? Yung mga uod na puti na lumalabas sa mga nabubulok na karne. Okay, tawag sa kanya domain. Alright, poisoning from eating of contaminated canned goods due to improper preservation and canning. Ano ang sagot nyo dito? Anong best guess nyo dito? Yes, it's botulism. Okay. Poisons that are from injection or bite can be removed by what method? Nakagat ng aso, nakagat ng ano yung first aid na ginagawa? Is it applying tourniquet? Is remove yan, remove. Poisons that are from injection or bite can be removed. Pagka tourniquet, that is to prevent the spread. Okay? Take note of that. Tingnan nyo yung question. If you're going to remove it, ang pinaka first aid dyan, ligature and bleeding. Okay, so ito ang sagot dyan. Pero kung when the poisons are from injection or bite, what is the method to prevent it from spreading? It is the tourniquet. Tatalian, halimbawa, nakagat ng aso sa baba, no? So you have to tie a band, a restricting band or a tourniquet to prevent the spread, the immediate spread of the poison. Pero kung removing is the ligature and bleeding. Kaya basahin nyo maigi yung question. Rat poison, that's arsenic. Okay. Oh, marami na tong questionnaire na to. Distillation with or without current of steam is the isolation of what kind of poison? Is it volatile, non-volatile, metallic, or organic? Dinidistill lang. It is the volatile poison kasi ito yung it's easily affected by heat. Combination of mechanical and physical antidotes and usually given to persons suspected to have taken 2 or more poisons. So it is the 2 or more. Ano yung pinaka dito sagot? Common sense. Anong sagot dyan sa mga natin? Okay, universal kasi 2 or more. So universal marami, no? So it is the universal poison. Poisoning in which it is a gradual deterioration. Ito na yung in-explain ko kanina. So that's chronic. Okay. Anesthesia, substances used as anesthesia. So these are, okay, chloroform and carbon tetrachloride. Yan, mga anesthetics yan. Ether is a poisonous substance. Okay, hindi pwede. It is used as a fire extinguisher, so that's carbon tetrachloride. Okay, tapos na yata tayo. Alright, so I hope, 185 na. I hope this questionnaire can help you with questionnaires, will help you in the board exam. So if forward ko kay Sir ito, okay, meron kayong concern, guys. Alright, so good luck sa lahat. Teka, punta ako sa ano. Mag-ano na pala ako. Stop sharing. Alright, ilan kayo? Oh, ang dami-dami nyo pala. Alright, so good luck guys. I know ang dami-dami ninyo all over the Philippines. May mga Ilocano, may mga Visayas, may mga ano. So good luck. I hope I can see all Ilongga. I hope I can see all your names, no? when the result of the examination will come out. Kailan na exam nyo? November? Is it November, December? December 4? December 4, 5, 6. Okay, good luck. Pray lang kayo, no? So, keep on reading. Pabukas nga ng mga camera nyo. Makita ko naman yung mga estudyante ko ngayon. Did you attend the August 25? August 24 yata yung ano. Nag-attend kayo ng review natin? Nag-discuss ako ng mga lecture o final coaching lang kayo? Final coaching lang kayo? Q&A lang kayo nag-attend? So, I've been teaching the subject for 34 years na. Nasa academe talaga ako. At present, I'm connected with New Era University and other colleges pa. No? So, I've been in the review centers for the past days. No, I have to give up my classroom lecture. Uma-absent ako sa mga schools just to give lectures for the board exam in different review centers. No? So, nandiyan talaga ako. And sa Sunday, nasa Manila na naman ako niyan. And itong mga October, ang dami-dami dyan. May mga final coaching pa. So, good luck sa inyo. And thank you for listening. I'll just send the copy of this questionnaire to Sir Noli. Okay? Sige. Bye-bye. God bless everyone. Bilis naman malubat ang cellphone ko. Dahil saan? Sa Yes, bakit? Sino? Bakit? Bakit? Alin? Alin yun?